Hello, friends, and welcome back to Restore You. It is Angela, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. I do art, paper crafting, lots of junk journals, and DIY projects. But most of all, I thrift for vintage treasures and do live sales. So, welcome. And for those of you who have been around a while and who are participating, thank you for all of your support. I could not be more grateful, and I appreciate every single one of you. And I want you guys all to know, if you have been following the December daily from the start on November 22nd, which was Tuesday, and you have reached out and said, hey, I want to participate, and I have not mentioned you by name on the channel, that is not because I'm ignoring you. I promise you, as soon as you tell me, I will add you to the description box. And then next week, because I'm doing these all in one day, I will give you shout outs and send everybody to your channel. In the meantime, friends, let me tell you who is participating. Excuse me, I have to step away for a second. I have a little bit of I think I'm getting a cold. That's not good. So participants are Dale at Not Too Shabby Chic, Pam Van E, who is just doing it periodically when she can, Bianca at BB's Closet Creations, and Kelly at Root Pursuit. So thank you, ladies, for playing along and having fun. If you do decide to participate, please use the hashtag December daily and the number 2, restore, and the letter U. And that's all you need to do. If you want to give me a shout out, that's awesome, but you don't have to. So here's what we've done so far in the box. So here's the box. We have done the shopping bag, jingle gift and gift tag. So we've got all of this done. We did Star Baking and Peppermint, which I goofed that one up, and it's glued in there. That one's fine, but the front is not. It may just stay like that. I don't know. And then yesterday we did Joy Pajamas and Holiday Memories. So we did this. And on our Wheel of Fun, on day 1, we did Jingle Bells, and then we have bells, which you really can't see on here, and the words and the lyrics. We did day 2, Star Baking and Peppermint. So we have some baking, and that's when we did the cool Distress Ink background. And on day 3, we did Tree Farm, which is family or holiday memories. And we got that in there. And then the movie thing was also a holiday memory. So that's what we have completed thus far. Today, my friends, the prompts are menu, cranberry, and believe. So let me move some of this out of the way because it's in my way. Menu. Cranberry and believe. Okay, so this I think we're going to use for this background. So I'm going to push that up there. Oh, one last thing. Did I already say this? Because I started the video before. If I did, forgive me. But in my Etsy shop, we are having a sale until the 30th of November to celebrate Black Friday. So I hope all of you are not too worn out from shopping. Hop on over and grab yourself some deals. If you spend $4, then, or $4, I'm looking at the number 4, $10, then you will receive a discount on your entire order, and that will be worth it. So I have some physical items, I have lots of digitals, I have some vintage goodies in there, all kinds of funness. So check it out. And support all of your small businesses, whether it be Etsy, whether it be, hopping by the local shops, having been, or having, I guess not having been, I still am a small business owner. We need you. We need you a lot. And you're important to our success. So my thought here is that because we're doing menu, cranberries, and believe, it's all food related, right? Well, I had this tag that looks like a Thanksgiving feast. And on the back of it, there's lines. So I thought I'm going to write what we have for Thanksgiving dinner. Or not Thanksgiving, maybe Thanksgiving and Christmas. How about it just be what Angela likes to have for the menu at Christmas? Because there's some things that a lot of people do not like. So what I thought we would do is just, ooh, that might fit actually perfect. And I can leave a little edge. What if I pull this off with a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of that? Ooh, I don't know. Here, let's do it this way. Say a little prayer. We'll go slow. Perfect. Okay. Now, let's see. How will that fit? That's fine. I'm not even going to bother with that because it says tea rolls, coffee butts. Coffee butts? What? Maybe it says butter. I don't know. Can't say coffee butts. I don't know. Can't take me anywhere. All right. Now we have to do the last edge. And this is going to be our backdrop. On one of these, I need to do a little collage. I think that would be fun. Okay. So we are going to use our glue stick. Oh, I have to give you an update on the whole thing. Well, first of all, I really hope that I did not, I thought about it afterwards. I'm like, gosh, I hope I didn't offend anybody by telling would you send your son to prison or your mom to prison for $50 million? I do not take it lightly that, there are people that are in prison, maybe that shouldn't be in prison, and maybe that should be in prison, but it's affecting their families. So my apologies if I've offended anyone. I hope not. But I did want to give you an update to tell you that Landon did share with me when he said, I think half is fine. When I said it needs to be 60-40, he said, well, Mom, you're just going to live there. You don't have a felony charge and there's no criminal record. So I think 50-50 is fine. That was his last comment. My kid. Whoa, that went flying. But yes, I am empathetic, very much so. I wish I would have asked, because I should have thought about it. But, I'm doing these right after one another. But I do have a personal story, not like in my family or anything, but somebody who was very close to me who did have an experience like that. And I'm not sure that's where they should have been, but that's what happened. An amazing man, and has affected and influenced a lot of people's lives from his experience. So I'll just say that. And then I may ask if I can share, because it kind of is a cool story and an important one, because here's the thing. Good people make bad choices, right? We know that. But also, good people may have an experience that is just what it is. It like didn't, I mean, there's wrong place, wrong time. There's just doing the right thing with the right person and it ending badly. You know, we've all had those people in our lives who have had things happen, and, you know, you just got to keep supporting them. Because it doesn't mean they are bad people. There are bad people in this world. Most of them are pretty good. I just have to say. But as my husband and my whole family would say, I am probably the one that will root for the underdog 100% of the time. If somebody needs help. So that's kind of how I am. I can't remember what time of year it was, but it was cold. And I may have told this story already. We were in Jackson, Mississippi. And if you've ever been to Jackson, Mississippi, it's, well, it's different. And I can't explain it. And you just kind of have to go there to experience it. But everything is just very different. And Dave and I went one night to the convenience store. We wanted snacks. He wanted iced tea. I wanted a coffee for the morning because the coffee in the hotel was not good. And so we walked to the convenience store. So this is what I was thinking about putting on here. And let's fit. I think I need to cut it down just a smidgy. When we were walking there was like an abandoned, kind of like a, what would you call it? Strip mall, maybe? And there was like an alcove, like it was the front of the building and then it kind of tucked back in. And there were 3 people sitting there in this little alcove. And I said, you know, Dave, we've got to get them like food and we're going to sit down and talk to them. So we bypassed them on the way. We went to Dave tells it very differently than I do. We went to the convenience store. We got, you know, food and whatnot. And on the way back, they had a big mattress, which I know now that I think about it, I'm like, well, I probably shouldn't have done that. But I just plopped my butt down and we started talking. Well, long story short, this is where, you know, good people are good. Why is it every time I'm putting things down, this little side never stays? There was one of the guys, I was just like, no, one of these things is not adding up. Like, this guy does not seem like he should be here. And I was sitting next to him. And Dave was talking to the other 2, which was a couple. I don't think they were married. And they were trying to get home for a holiday. And, you know, kind of told us their story. It was a rough one. It was mostly her that was telling the story. And I kind of leaned over to the guy and I said, okay, you need to be honest with me because you're not adding up. Like, the conversations that we're having, you're not really participating in, you know, what your situation was. And he was honest. And he said, I'm actually a pastor at a church. And they support a homeless area, or if you will, in the town, which was not in Jackson. It was quite a ways away. And I'm going to keep that aside until we're ready to use it. And I'm trying to get them home to their family. They, you know, I've had some issues, and, you know, I'm just trying to spread God's word and, you know, help them and realize that, you know, they can do it. And so we had a very long conversation, but he's like, they do not know this. You know, I don't want them to know this. He was dressed just like they were. But, you know, you could just tell he didn't fit. And it was amazing. Well, at the end of the night, I was so impressed with this man who had done so many things. And I said, Dave, well, first I asked Dave, can we just pay for them? It was cold. And I said, can we just pay for them to have a room, a hotel room? I think we need to do Carol's supper. And he said, yes, Angela, yeah, we can do that. And I, you know, he still didn't know the fact that that gentleman was a pastor or preacher or whatever. And then I asked that gentleman, I'm like, okay, you know, if you're trying to help them, is this a good thing or a bad thing that I'm offering this? And he said, no, he said, it's a good thing. He said, but I want you to share with them that, you know, there are good people in this world, and that you maybe need to trust people more than you do right now. And so I had to have this I was like, oh, okay. But anyway, we put him into a, you know, decent room for the night. And, you know, the gentleman had given me his contact information, and it was very, very heartwarming. And I hope that woman and her boyfriend ended up, you know, finding their family and finding peace, and that she got to be with her family. And it was, it feels like it was at the holidays. I don't know why it felt like that, but, you know, Dave always tells me, Angela, you were just like too nice, and you just care too much. I'm like, well, it's not going to change. There's no doubt about it. It is not going to change. So it is what it is. You know, I did not feel unsafe, and clearly that gentleman had a good heart. He told me all about the program, which I honestly don't remember all of now. But, you know, we could all be a lot better if we just gave people a little grace and didn't be quick to judge. You know, everyone, well, my kids are like, yes, Mom. Everyone's fighting a hard battle. You don't know what it is. You don't know what they've been through. And the best thing you can do is be your best you for them, right? So there's my after Thanksgiving little soapbox. I'll stop talking about that. All right, that looks horrible. We need to do something fun to it. I love this, and I think we need to cut out the Christmas sandwich loaf and use it. I don't know. Well, tell me, like, are there people in your life that, or organizations that you support, or experiences that you've had that, you know, people have judged others unfairly, or maybe you? I mean, don't we all have to really think about it? Like, it's easy sometimes to go, ugh. Then you think, you don't know. You do not know. One of a great example is, there's that thrift shop that I go to that is at the food pantry. And, oh my goodness, the foul language. And I'm fine. If people want to swear, I have no problem with it. I'm not saying I never swear once in a while. But the things that come out of their mouth when I'm in there, I'm like, Jiminy Christmas. Like, you don't have to drop F-bombs every other word. Like, that's not necessary. Um, and that's just kind of how they, it's one guy. He's in there almost every week that I'm in there. And he gets really kind of belligerent with all these people that are in there. And I'm like, Jiminy Christmas, you don't need to talk like that. And I know he's trying to get his point across, but goodness gracious. And the interesting thing is that the people that are in there with him, they don't even really respond to him or, you know, tell him he's wrong or do anything. They just kind of listen. And that's a cool thing. And they're in the same boat too. Like, they also don't have a home to live in. But when you spend time in a place like that and you listen and you hear what they're saying, you know, it's hard for me not to just go over and say, hey, do you need to talk? I don't, usually, most of the time. Sometimes I do. You know, everybody needs a friend. And if I can be that person, then I will be. And it's sometimes a sketchy area, but I've never felt uncomfortable being there. Ever. I'm putting that right over that. I feel more obligated to spend money so that I'm helping them. And you know, this is interesting too. Do any of you volunteer at like a food pantry or somewhere like it? Because I wonder is there... They never ask me for a donation other than what I'm paying. And I always say, like, if it's, you know, $5, I'll give them $6 or I'll round up or whatever it is. But are there things that, like, we could be doing to help those who are in poverty situations or those that are homeless, that because many of us thrift and many of them support places like the one that I go to. So I'd be curious, and I would appreciate any... Ooh, my pillow just went off. Any advice or any way I could support, because I think it would be nice. Wow, that got really deep, didn't it? I don't know. I just think everyone deserves a chance in this world, so be kind. I think both Landon and Demi are... Oh, I'll save the story about Demi and remind me sometime to tell the story about Demi going roller skating. But Landon, like, even all the neighbors, we have tons of little kids in our neighborhood, and they all come over and they're like, hey, would you like us to deliver you some lemonade? And we all always say yes. Well, Landon's like, well, how much is it? And they're like, $1. And then they come back to bring it, and he gives them $5. It's the sweetest thing. I'm like, I don't even give him $5. But you just do you, kid, if that makes you feel better. I've raised an awesome kiddo. So do any of you volunteer over Thanksgiving? I'm just curious. Now, I'm going to write my recipe, or not my recipe. I don't have that many good recipes, but I'm going to write my menu for I'm going to write it for Christmas dinner because Thanksgiving dinner, I'm not a big fan of turkey. We always have turkey, but I'm going to write my list of what I like. So we'll do it. I'm just curious if any of you, ham, number 1 on my list. I do make this oyster casserole. There's only about 5 of us who like it in the whole family. Deviled eggs. And we always have, I'm going to call it charcuterie, but I'm really more into the relish tray. My sister's always in charge of the I kind of messed that up. Charcuterie tray. Well, let's see. 7-layer salad. I'm going to put all the things I like first, and then I'll put all the things that everybody else eats. Let's see. Ham. Oh, stuffing. Stuffing is one of my very favorites. Is there anything that I can't? Well, on the charcuterie tray is black olives, which I love. Those are all my number 1s. Now, let's just talk about what everybody else likes. So, of course, we have potatoes and gravy. Which the gravy is also amazing on the stuffing. Every year, my mom makes sweet potatoes. And my sister and my mom, I mean, I guess maybe some other people like it in our family, but mostly my mom, my sister, and my sister's like, I will not eat them out of a can. Like, she would know, really. And then usually my mom burns the marshmallows on the top, so. But we have them every single year. Let's see. My sister-in-law makes I'm going to call it pretzel salad, but it's like strawberry salad with pretzels on the bottom and cream cheese, and everybody loves it. Am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing a lot. Oh, well, my nephew, AJ, gets a pumpkin pie to himself every year. I do not eat pumpkin pie. And let's see, what other kind of desserts? Well, Mo, my grandma, her pixie cookies, which they're Landon and I's favorite. Really what they are is those chocolate cookies that then they're crinkly and then you put powdered sugar on the top. But that's what we call them. Let's see, what else? I know I'm missing things. Oh, green bean. And then all of the kids, like Nana's, I think it's I'm just going to call it mac and cheese, but I think for some reason it has corn in it, but I couldn't be for certain. Okay, there is the Erringdale Schrod family menu. There we go. We've done it. And in 29 minutes. This will be fun. I need to save this one and put it into a journal. Oh, I feel like I need something up there. That is, I thought on one of the last videos that we did, I had something. Yes, I did. Do you think we can fit holiday preparations on there? I'm cutting it out anyway. So what is something that you have to have at Thanksgiving, or, you know, if you're not from the U.S., whatever, you know, holidays, whether it's Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, 4th of July, it doesn't matter. Just tell me, what are your requirements? Like, what do you say? Oh my gosh, I gotta have that. I'm curious. Because I could use some new recipes. And I told you the other day that Dave was making coconut cream pie. And he's been testing out some things. I don't know. I need to check with him and see if he's on it. Because he only has one more day. But the one he made, it was good. It just wasn't really coconutty. So if any of you are pros at making coconut cream pie, that would be awesome to tell me what you do. Now, here's what's happening. I never eat dessert. I'm not a dessert person. I only like 2 kinds of pies. It's coconut cream pie and banana cream pie. It reminds me of my grandpa. Well, my sister told me, and I hope she doesn't renege on it and like change it up if Dave's making I don't like that there, but it's gonna go there. She's getting a banana cream pie. Because normally my mom makes homemade pumpkin pie for my nephew AJ because he loves it. Which, you know, Nana and Papa kind of spoil the babies. And then Nick always either makes or brings. I think he mostly brings French silk pie. And then on occasion, there's an apple or a cherry or whatever. None of which I will ever eat. So it just doesn't happen. I just don't like sweets that much. But there's some nostalgia. All right, I'm just making sure this will go in here. Yes. Okay, perfect. Yay! Now that I've talked my whole... this might not even air, and I'll have to do this over again. I don't know. Because maybe I've been too much, but I'm just feeling a little sentimental. Menu, cranberries, and believe. We nailed it. And then we just have this simple little Carol supper with chicken rolls, egg sauce, jellied apples, hot biscuits. I don't remember what that said. And some coffee. So we are set to go for the Black Friday extravaganza of December Daily. And I think I'm about to call it a night. I'll do the rest tomorrow. So until then, friends, I hope you have a safe, happy, wonderful holiday. And don't forget to remember to take time to just be, especially with your family right now. And we will see you next time. Cheers.